Good morning and welcome to the official groundbreaking for the long-awaited rebuild of the Alden A. Mills Point of Pines Fire Station. We got a beautiful morning. I knew it would be very well attended, and we really appreciate everybody from the community showing up. It means a lot to us. We're going to kick it off by just recognizing all our elected officials and dignitaries here, so just bear with me. Hope I don't flub it too badly. With us this morning, we have our acting mayor, Patrick Keefe, Kelsey Perkins, District Director from Democrat Whip Catherine Clark's office. And representing Senator Lydia Edwards is Ben Tayag, District Director. We have our Representative Jessica Janino. Her grandfather was retired firefighter Chris Janino. And Representative Jeffrey Turco. Councilor at Large Dan Rizzo. Councilor at Large Jerry Visconti. Councilor at Large Anthony Zambuto. Ward 2 Councilor Ira Novoselsky. Too bad about the Celtics there, Ira. That was rough. Ward 3 Councilor Anthony Cogliandro. And representing our Ward 5 Councilor John Powers, who everyone knows couldn't be with us here today. He took a fall and hurt his hip. But representing him will be his granddaughter, Madeline Cass. Welcome, Madeline. And from the school committee, we have Stacy Bronsden Rizzo. Yeah, see, Stacy, we got the Bronsden in there. I got it. And also, who was here an hour early, very impressed with that, Superintendent Dr. Diane Kelly's here with us. I don't know if most of you know, Diane's brother is the president of the International Association of Firefighters, Edzo Kelly. He's we're very big fans of Ed here. So, moving along, we have our Northeast Regional Vocational High School representative, Anthony Caggiano. Welcome, Anthony. And we have a zoning board chair, Michael Tucker's with us here this morning. Michael. As you can see, we have the whole fire department family standing behind me, including a lot of my staff. We have 11 new firefighters who just began with us this past week. We're getting ready to man this station next year, and we're all very pleased to be preparing for that. We have some of our distinguished fire retirees with us here today. I saw Captain Anthony Jala, who lives right down the street. Welcome, Cap. Welcome back. Also, my pal Val Lanza, retired Engine 5, a good friend of my father's, Val, and Anthony Caporcia, who was our fire alarm operator he was here. Is Anthony still here? Yeah, Anthony was took the call for the Great Conflagration that night back in 1990, and interestingly enough, there was only one call for that fire. One call came into fire alarm for that conflagration. And last, but certainly not least, special guest, former Mayor Brian Arrigo is here with us today. Before I move on, I just have a few brief comments, but I'd like to recognize our general contractor, Deulis Brothers Construction Company. As you can see there on site, we're getting ready right after the ceremony to get to get this project underway. They've been here the past week or so just preparing the grounds. I also like to recognize our owner's project manager, Rihanna Burton. She's here with us today. And I did not see our former OPM, Jennifer Dos Santos. I wanted to recognize in case she is here. Also, the architects, our architects for this project, Winter Street Architects. We have Paul Duran here with us this morning. Thank you, Paul. And again, you know, there's so many thank yous to go around to the whole community. I mean, this project has been in the works since 2018 or so. You know, and a lot of people have really helped move it along the way. We ran into a lot of roadblocks. It was very difficult. You know, not the least was COVID. But it's great to finally be here, you know, and it took really everybody, everyone in City Hall, every department pitched in, everyone from the chiefs right down to the clerical people have helped out with this. So I don't want to leave everybody out. We really appreciate everything everybody's done for us. I mean, you know, the City Council voted twice unanimously to fund this project. And in these divided times, this is one of the few things I can really remember that everybody was in favor of. So we thank you. Appreciate it. We're on the site of the former Alden A Mills fire station. That station was built and opened in 1938. It served this community up until around 1990, 91, and that's when we had some funding issues, Proposition 2.5. We ended up losing override question, and sadly we closed Engine 3 in Beachmont and in this station down here to Point of Pines. Ultimately, we got Engine 3 back in service, but the Point of Pines never really reopened from that time. And looking back, I remember being a young firefighter. I wasn't even on the job 5 years, and we were the last crew down here locking up the station, putting a sign on that it was closed. So it gives me great personal pleasure to be here 30 years later to see us rebuilding this fire station, kind of everything coming full circle in my, you know, at the twilight of my career. So it's great to be here. And without any further ado, I am going to pass this off to Acting Mayor Patrick Keefe, Jr.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Chief Bright, thank you so much for your words, and thank you so much for your leadership in the department. Your team, it's always on cue with your team has done a terrific job of doing their roles every day, knowing what the needs of the community are, but also doing it sometimes shorthanded. So today is a great day for the Point of Pines. It's a historic occasion, not just for the Point of Pines, but the surrounding beachfront neighborhoods and the city of Revere. The road to get here was not easy. As Chief Bright mentioned, this site has been inactive since 1991, roundabouts. I was in middle school. Some of these men and women behind us were not in school at all, and some in front of us worked on this fire station in the 70s and the 80s. So this has been a long process that is, quite frankly, long overdue. It took a lot of work. I want to specifically thank my former colleague, former Mayor Brian Arrigo, for his work on this project. I know that he wanted to be here to make sure he is here today, but I know he wanted to be here specifically in office to make sure he saw this groundbreaking, but there were some delays. I certainly want to thank Chief Bright, and I want to thank my friend, Councilor John Powers. As we mentioned, couldn't be here today. I talked to John on the phone just a few hours ago. A few others, Mayor Arrigo and Chief Bright, and a few others, Ms. Michael Tucker, spoke to John just a little while ago. When we heard of John's accident, I called him up and said, John, let's delay the groundbreaking. We want to make sure that you're here healthy with us and being able to put a shovel in the ground. He said, before I even finished my statement, he said, absolutely not. We're not stopping. We're going to keep the train moving forward. This fire station isn't about John Powers. This fire station is about the residents of Revere. This fire station is about the residents and needs of the Point of Pines. John has always put community first. And again, on a day like today when we could have held off to make sure he was here, he made sure that that absolutely did not happen. So I want to give a special thanks to Councilor Powers. The collaboration between our city officials, architects, engineers, and construction teams have been a true testament to the power of teamwork. Together, we've laid the foundation for a facility that will serve and protect our residents for years to come. The Alden A. Mills Point of Pines Fire Station represents more than just a fire station. It symbolizes progress, resilience, public safety accessibility. The residents don't just need, they deserve. To all the residents here today, I want to thank you for continuing to advocate for your community and celebrating with us today. It's because of you that this is possible. I'm honored to be here celebrating with the men and women of the Revere Fire Department. I'm honored to be here celebrating with the residents of Revere. It is a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Keefe. We're going to have some remarks from our representatives, and first I'll call up Representative Jeff Turco to say a few words.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. What an honor it is to be here. Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. What an honor it is to be here. Growing up in Revere, I lived on Reservoir Ave, and we used to hang out down at Hill Park back in the day. And the lights at Hill Park got shut off at 8 o'clock. So the neighbors didn't complain. The lights were actually controlled by Central Fire at the time. And so the guys down there would say, as long as you guys aren't causing too much grief, we'll leave the lights on until we start getting the phone calls. And so the phone calls would eventually come, and they'd say, come down the station. There used to be a half a basketball court in that station. The guys would pull the fire truck out so the kids could go in there and play basketball. And it's there where, as kids, we learned about, we watched through your leadership, through your example, about sacrifice, about love, about commitment to your brother officers and your sister officers in the fire service. We learned about your commitment to duty to the people of this city. And then growing up and sort of being a part of having the opportunity to be a representative and to see the leadership of Mayor Arrigo and Councilor Powers to say we're going to make it. We made a commitment years ago when this fire station was torn down that we're going to follow through. And it took a lot longer than some people wanted, but they never took their eye off the ball to make sure that the people of this area and the people of this city were protected by a new fire station, by the brave men and women that serve the Revere Fire Service. And when this building goes up, it symbolizes so much more than just a firehouse. It really does symbolize sacrifice, selflessness, love, commitment and devotion to duty and to family and to friends and to neighbors. And I'm so proud to have the honor to be here and say a few words. I will point out, Michael, forgive me if I embarrass you, but my first babysitting job was this young kid down the street from me, Michael DiCarlo. So I think of his dad today at a ceremony like this too, when we dedicate this, a man who dedicated his life to the fire service. So thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. May St. Florian protect each and every one of you that guard this station and guard the people of Revere. God bless America and God bless us.
Thank you very much, Representative Turco. Our next speaker is the granddaughter, as I mentioned earlier, of retired deceased firefighter Chris Giannino and retired police officer Chris Giannino, Sergeant Giannino, I'm sorry. I'll like to ask Representative Jessica Giannino.
Thank you, Chief Bright, and thank you everyone for being here today. I also want to acknowledge our public safety officials. I see Chief David Callahan here supporting, and also Commander of the Revere Police Barracks, Lieutenant Don Bossy. So thank you both for being here. And I think it's just a further evidence of the collaboration the City of Revere has with our public safety officials, between our police and our fire, and the support that they give each other. And we're so lucky to be a part of a community that has that network. For me, this project has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Being elected to the City Council in 2011, we knew it was coming down the pipeline. In 2019, we finally started working on it, long overdue. And it was an uphill battle. This site faced many challenges logistically, and then as my time in the council transitioned over to the State House, we had to further pass legislation to transfer some land back there where the bus turnaround is, to ensure that this property can open and that it can facilitate the needs of the community and do everything that it needs to be as functional as possible. And having watched this project grow and develop over the years, we also have to notice how our community has grown and developed over the years. The Point of Pines neighborhood has needed a fire station for 30 years, and that was when it was just this neighborhood. Now you go down the road and there's thousands of new residents that need the services that this fire station is going to offer them. The closest fire station we have is Freeman Street, and if they're on a call, it's Broadway. And quite frankly, these men and women do so much with the resources that they have. And this is just another tool that's going to allow them to serve the people of Revere in the absolute best way that they possibly can. And that's my job as an elected official, is to make sure that these men and women have everything that they need to ensure the safety of our residents. Now, when you think about this property, this land is so special to me. I can remember Acting Mayor Keefe mentioned he was in middle school. I was born in 1991, so it's quite frankly been my entire life. This building has been closed. So my memories of this building are not as a functioning fire station, but they were the second Sunday of every June at our Memorial Sunday. And in just 2 weeks, we'll be back at the Legion, and hopefully in a couple years we'll be back here celebrating the 75th annual Firefighter Memorial Sunday, where we recall the members of the fire family. I see our retirees here today. And I remember sitting there with my grandfather as they read the names of those retirees, and he'd tell a story about who was a cook and who was a jokester, and all the guys that he had so much fun and so many memories with, him and George Tulare. And I can't help but stand here today and think about them and how much they would want to be here and how proud they would be that you guys are here to represent the fire service. And I think it really is so beautiful that we have the future of the Revere Fire Service. I see people that I grew up with that are now going to take the torch and continue to protect our residents, and our retirees that are still here supporting this family, supporting each other in our community. It really is beautiful, and it's something that I'm so blessed to be a part of. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really, really excited to get these shovels up. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Representative Giannino. As Jessica mentioned, and I want to ensure our fire department family, our retirees and everybody, I know we haven't been able to hold our ceremony, and it's sad to see our memorial kind of be dissembled down here, but our intention is to build a brand new firefighters memorial, in a granite wall, black granite wall, into the back of the fire station we're building. So hopefully, when we're prepared, we'll be back here, and every single name will be on that wall again, and we aim to make you proud. So I just wanted to put that out there. At this time, I'm going to ask Acting Mayor Keefe to come up. I don't get some words for Councilor Powers. Thank you.
Thank you, again. So, as mentioned, Councilor Powers is unable to be here, but he made sure he sent some remarks, and he called me and asked me to present these remarks for him. So, pardon me, I am going to read from his statement. But before I do, I also wanted to make sure, when we talked about the future of Revere, the Revere Fire Department, certainly this station represents part of the future, but right behind me is half of the newly sworn in 11 firefighters that just began 2 weeks ago. So congratulations to some of our newest. You can't have a new fire station without having the staff to support it. And we're committed as a city to make sure that doesn't happen. We have 11 coming on, and of course, the future is bright with continuing to invest in that public safety. Councilor Powers' remarks. In years past, we in Point of Pines had our own school, our own church, and our own fire station. However, one after another, each of these community facilities closed, and 3 of the staples of our neighborhood were no longer here to serve our neighborhood residents. Now we are witnessing the turnaround. The Point of Pines Fire Station will return with a new community room. The ongoing development of the Riverfront District will include an improved and more accessible Gibson Park and a new river walk. The derelict Riverside boatyards will now be repurposed as a community rowing center. One by one, new neighborhood facilities are emerging, and our old neighborhood institutions are being restored. It's incredibly encouraging to see these important signs of a newly integrated Point of Pines Riverside and a riverfront community as an active and attractive element of the revitalized city of Revere. On this important occasion, in particular, I'm proud to say that we in the larger Point of Pines community will soon be to again rest our heads on our pillows more easily at night, knowing that an emergency, whether by fire, flood, or otherwise, that the Revere Fire Department will no longer have any problem getting its manpower and equipment to the residents, because once again, they will already and always be here. I want to thank Chief Chris Bright in the Revere Fire Department and former Mayor Brian Arrigo for their collaboration on this critical project. Today is an exciting day for the Point of Pines and for Revere as a whole. And although I cannot celebrate with you in person, I'm very proud to have been part of the progress we all see here today. Thank you, from John Powers. So we're gonna ask everyone to assemble and grab a shovel, and of course we want to invite up Madeline, Councilor Powers' granddaughter, as one of our dignitaries to represent Councilor Powers, and then we'll go through the ceremony. 1, 2, 3.